Good morning, good day, good evening to all listeners dropping in to view the YieldMax Mindset YouTube channel. Thank you all for dropping in. If you're watching this video, I love and enjoy your comments that you drop. If you like the video, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. All right. All right. So I don't ask people to subscribe, but you all have been doing an excellent job subscribing to my channel. I do not ask for likes and comments. Well, I haven't been, but I'm asking now. Get to it, right? Enough of that. All right. So this is week 47, I believe. I should have checked my notes before I started, right? Let's see here. Yes, week 47. Man, week 52, 53 coming up. All right. So you can see now we're setting at $81,570 right now. Live, we're down $151 for the day. Oh, it is 2:05 Eastern Standard Time and it is 1:05 Central Standard Time. All right. So the day it's after midnight. So we're up $3,430 today. I think President Trump did sign a trade deal with the EU. I saw some of the Yahoo alerts or messages. Excuse me. So we may have some positive things going on. And I'm sure I'm going to have some positive recovery with CONY. All right. So for the week, we had a bad week last week, did we not? So we're down $4,280. You can see even with what it was $8,400 in dividend that I got, that I still did not make a full recovery for the week because I'm still down over $4,000. All right. For the month, we're up $15,928. For the past 3 months, we are up $43,552. All of you that are listening to this channel as you're driving to work, be safe. And those of you who are listening to this channel, go as you driving home, be safe. All right. So for year to date, we are up $30,153. This past year, we are up $52,291. All right, let's see here. All time, we're up $45,499. All right. So our buying power has increased from, I believe I had gotten it down to 4,000 last week because I did buy some new positions that I was going to swing trade. Some did all right. So at least I know one of them I shouldn't have got in because I override my emotions and I got it. All right, so we can see now that our total margin now stands at $120,697. Our margin now sits at $99,573. And our buffer is at $29,686, 38.6%. So it's still basically where it was last week, even though we did, our buffer did get down because of the dip in the market. All right. So if our margin now is at 5.5%. Now, last week we did get to 5.25%. So you can see this little shift in the market has brought us back to 5.5% interest rate. All right. And if we were to make a withdrawal, that would be $10,174 at the current settings where we are today. I could withdraw 10,000. Of course, you wouldn't want to do all that, if you ain't got enough buffer. But all right, so now let's hit our top positions right quick. All right, so CONY. We see CONY right now is up 18 cents in the after overnight market. All right, so it's closed at $9.17 now. Market value is at $91,700. We are down $22,208. That amount had decreased to around $9,000. So you can see CONY not only did it pay the dividends, but it also Coinbase had a couple days where it cooled off, which is good. All right, because normally when it cools off, you get back and pull back for another slingshot up. All right. All right. So as again, our average cost is 1139 for 10,000 shares here in our Robinhood account. We do have some in our Charles Swap account. All right. Let's see. So we got paid dividends. So let's just come down here. All right. So 10,000 shares at 79.51 yield us $7,951 in dividend pay. All right. That's a nice increase from the previous distribution where it was 8,000 shares at the time, right? And it paid out 53.54. So that's a nice increase there, almost close to 30 cents. All right. I was hoping for 85 to 95. They squeezed the 80 in there. A brother can't complain. All right. Next, we got Alti. Alti's at 632. Market value is at 9,480. We're down $1,100. Average cost is at 706 at 1,500 shares. So let me tell you a little about my strategy that I'm thinking in my head, right? So y'all saw earlier when I said the available to withdrawal is around 10K, right? Now, if CONY goes up, it's going to increase, I believe it'll increase the amount that I'm able to withdraw, right? But I'm also getting paid this coming week with Misty, along with the other positions with Misty, which I believe is SMCY, AIYY, OT, and YieldMax, right? So my potential strategy is if the available goes up by this time next week, when I'm doing week 48, portfolio review, I will withdraw over 14, maybe 15 to $16,000 if those funds are available this time next week. I'll just, as I'm sitting here recording this video, I would show you all me actually processing that and withdrawing it like I did the 6,000 a few weeks ago. And what the plan is to eliminate another credit card debt. I know my margin is going to be up high. I'm not worried about that so much right now. Yeah, I'm not worried about it because we have Platy and Hood, SoFi, that are in profit. So I can sell those off if need be. But I think CONY good. I believe Coinbase, just my personal opinion. I'm not a techno analysis. I'm just vibing. So I think Coinbase will continue to run up, and CONY will continue to run as well. I would like to see days where CONY jump $1 to almost $2 in a day, and not this 30 cents a week, just playing and toying with us, make a serious run. But that hasn't happened yet, right? All right, so next we got Misty, other big position at 2140. Market value is at 21,360. We're down $4,300. Average cost is 25.70, and this will be the position that will get paid this coming Friday. Robinhood, don't hold it till after midnight again. The people want their money. We want our money. All right, YieldMax is 13.93. Market value is at 6.96. We're down $82. Average cost is 15.59 for 50 shares. Let's see here. We got $9.19. All right, Hoodie is at 67.98. I wished I had a bigger position in this baby when she first, after the second payment. I was aiming to get some after this dip, after they paid out. See, it was at 70, got up to 76, had a little dip after the payout, came down to 65, and I still hadn't got in it. I was aiming to at least double my position, right? But the whole strategy is I'm holding off because I want to withdraw about 15 to 16,000. I said 14, but I would like to maybe push it to 16 pay off the credit card, and use maybe $1,000 for buffer on my end just to have some cash on hand. All right. But I'm having to, strategize and have patience and wait and see what this week in Misty is going to do. Because generally my weeks with CONY and Misty are my biggest pay weeks, right? And if I'm going to make a withdrawal or do anything significant, whether it's buying more shares, I generally have to do it during this period of time because week A is a very weak week. So that means I got to go a period of time. Hopefully the market is not dropping on my value. My account is not dropping because I don't have a significant position in Group A. I have a small position in Platy in Group B. So Group A and B are my weaker position, and Group A is the weakest of them all. All right, AMD 860. This is another position that I'm looking at doubling up, bringing down my cost average before AMD makes its run up. So yeah, so we did get paid dividends. Let's see here. All right, so we had 340 and it paid out 56 cents for $192.74. Forgot about Hui, right? So we had 11 shares, $6.90, which was very, very nice. 75.93. In my opinion, not financial advice. I think Robinhood will continue to do well. So that means Hui will too. Robinhood's got a lot of things coming out this fall, and they're expanding overseas as well. So I think it has a lot of catalysts to keep moving. Let's pull up Hood right quick. Hood, HOOD. I thought I had Hood and Robin Lady pulled up, but I did. All right, so you can see Robinhood now is 107. All right. So a month ago, you could have got it at $82. Right? But check this out. 3 months ago, you could have got it at $46. And it was around, what was this? Maybe around $60. No, it was 70. That's right. It was around 70, around here, when Chris Sane said, yo, Robinhood, I can see this going easily to $100. And where is it at now? $107, right? So I'm up $861 in profit in this position with in this Robinhood account. My other position, because some of you ask me, how are you going to pay off your margin? What you going to do? So Hood and Platy, not Platy, Palantir, excuse me. PLTR. Say my name. All right, see? All right, so originally, you all know, if you've been following me, when I got into Platy. Oh, now those who got into Platy back in the day, when it was $18, you're sitting on some money if you hadn't sold. But you all know I got in at 112, accidentally sold out, made a little profit, got back in at 115, and I did dollar cost average up, and my average cost now is at 125. I doubled my position from 60 shares to 120 shares, and as you can see, I'm up $4,323 at this current moment. So I have 99,000 in margin. I would sell off Palantir, which you can see I have 4,300 in profit. So I would give Robinhood back their 15,000, and I get to keep this 43. And when I sell this 43, Robinhood is going to double or triple this buying power from 43. So it goes from almost 8,000 to almost 12,000 in buying power for just this profit alone, because it's going to be like I'm putting cash back in this account. So I'm borrowing their 15,000, right? Probably paying them $20 on interest just on the 15, right? Probably less than that. And I'm walking away with over $4,300 in profit. Now, the thing is, Palantir has their earnings in 6 days. I forgot there was some news that came out the other day that was positive about Palantir. So positive catalyst. So my intentions was to get up to maybe 2 or 3 days before the earnings report, and I was thinking about selling Palantir and just walking away with some sheer money, right? Now I'm leaning a little bit towards maybe holding on to it afterwards, because if it makes a significant run up, that'd be great. I think someone said they see it going to 200, right? So after earnings, it could pull back. And if it does pull back significantly, I'll just add to my position if I'm in a position to do so. Um, but who knows if it runs up to 200? That'd be a nice profit. So let's see. All right. Another position I'm thinking about is, here's YBTC 49.20. Market value is $50.80. We're up $1.75. This one here, AIYY. Now I was contemplating between AIYY, OT, and Murney. Now, why would I buy Murney and AIYY? Well, for this one, I only have 13 shares, right? So I can easily bring down this average cost of 1168, and it's an AI position. And I think with time, AI will make a recovery for at least for this particular stock. Murney is I'm getting it dirt cheap, and it's paying a decent dividend at that dirt cheap price. And I'm looking at it going, man, a 5,000 share count or a 10,000 share count in Murney. Worst that could happen if it goes down to $1 something. They say, okay, we're going to reverse split it. But that's the worst. But it's paying a decent dividend for $2 play, right? And so that was something I was thinking about. But I would probably prefer to get AMD and this one, the dollar cost average down in these positions while I have an opportunity. But we'll see. All right. Next, we got, let you see here. Position here. All right, fire. Oh, not fire. My Charles Swap account. My dividends, right? All right, so that's 24.93. Let's see, that's 24.93. This position is starting to grow a little bit with the little cash. We got some dividends paid out. Let's see, I think I had it here. Did I? Nope. Let's do this. I thought I had it done, but I guess it didn't. All right, let's go current month, filter, show you my dividends that I've gotten for the month of July in here. Let's say current month. All right, sorry to make you dizzy there. So right now it's saying in this Charles Schwab position, I've made $175.59 in dividends this month. I did have OT reinvest their dividends that I got for it. We did add a position. So we got some dividends that Friday, but we didn't get them all because now it's at $38. All right. So we bought some more OT. We had that reinvested, and we had a little bit of change left, but I couldn't buy anything here. But the only thing I could buy was some Murney. So I bought 2 shares. I had about just under $6 left, and it wasn't enough to even buy 1 share of OT. So we bought that, right? So that's where we stand with this. We're up 89.75 and gain in this position. I did just before I got on here, I had 2 credit cards that had cash rewards. So I cashed out those. One is going to be direct deposited to my bank account. The other will come through mail, and I'm going to deposit those and put it in this account. It ain't much, but it may be over $100 and something. I think one of them is $96. The other, I don't remember the amount. But hey, any little change I got, like something like that on cash rewards, I'm going to deposit in here. Birthday money, a gift, is going in here. All right. All right. So now let's talk about schedule coming up for this week. All right. So we got on YieldMax here. We got Group D. All right, so that's going to pay out August the 1st. So yeah, so Misty has 2 payouts this month. Group D, August the 1st and August the 29th. CONY. Misty will get paid out twice in this month of August, right? So that's going to consist of AIYY, AMZY, APLY, DISCO, Misty, obviously, SMCY, Winter, WNTR, XYZY, and YQQQQ. All right. So it's possible I might add to this position AIYY before the Wednesday, close of Wednesday. We may. I don't know. Still got to see. All right. Let's hit our crypto right quick. I wanted to do the crypto market. All right, here we go. All right, so let's refresh this. So now Bitcoin is at 119,508. Ethereum is at over $3,900. XRP is at 330. All right, Doge is at 25 cents. All right, so let's look at my position. All right, so Chronos, according to this, is at 15 cents. It's been growing. Let's look at the last day, the last week. You can see it's moving up. That's good. All right, so my total shares are token, right, is at 297,579 tokens, or I still call them shares, right? It says my average cost is at 8 cents. I have invested over 29,000 into here. And as you can see, I have unrealized profit at $21,384. All right. Bitcoin, I have my average cost is about 40,000. I only invest about 2,600, but I'm up $5,000 in profit. All right, that takes care of that. Now, moving on. Oh, spreadsheet. Let's cover that, baby. Keep forgetting you. I'm sorry. All right. So active income. All right. So I told you if you watch my prior two videos, the weekly portfolio review, I mentioned that in the month of July, I would have three payouts for my active income. So that's going to, as you can see, my active income for the month of July is at $5,704.33. Last week, our dividend for the month of July was at $2,180.65. We got paid out for Group C. That's bringing our dividend total to $10,603.15. All right, so our total active income now stands at $31,883 minus our tithes of $31.88. And now that brings my total passive income to $55,186.37. But combined income now stands at $87,070.09. My active income average is at $4,554. My passive income average is now at $7,883. All right. So last week, prior margin balance was at $106,177. Now it's currently at $99,578. All right, so it's reduced mainly because we got paid out in Group C in dividends, reducing our margin balance to 99,000. All right. So Robinhood Go hasn't increased. Robinhood interest hasn't acquired yet, accrued yet. And so we're still at $1,600 in interest from Robinhood. And that is, look, $1,600, right? And I've made $55,000. That's what margin does, people. If you don't understand it, this is what margin does. It allows me to borrow. Of course, you have to deposit your own money initially. You have to deposit at least a minimum of $2,000 to get margin started. And then even with $2,000, I don't think you should use margin until you're probably near $15,000 or $20,000, right? And then it's recommended not to use no more than 20 to 40% of that. Except that doesn't apply to me, right? I get to use right at 98% of my margin, right? Right. That's just because I'm just going for the money, people. And I got a good vibe. I don't know the market, but I think I'm in a okay position right now to take advantage of it. So that's what I'm doing. But anyway, like I'm saying, $1,600, and I've made $55,000 year to date investing in this Robinhood account and Charles Schwab account, right? So, I mean, I don't know how to explain it any better than that. I mean, yes, this is the most margin I've used. Normally, I haven't gotten between I normally would be like between 40, maybe 60, right? And I've pushed it on up, right? So my interest will probably go from, it's normally been in like the 230 range. So now it may be hitting maybe 4 or something. That's increased margin, but that's a small price compared to all the dividends of getting people. That's what I'm saying. They call it OPM, other people's money. You borrow it, you pay a little interest. Now check this out. I would not be doing this if I was buying something like FedEx, Pepsi, and Coke. I would not be buying this much margin with them paying me quality dividends. And it just don't make sense, right? But with these high yields, I'm making so much in return that I can afford to pay this interest, and I can afford to pay the total margin off in probably 6 to 9 months if I wanted to, right? I can simply do that. All right, enough of that. All right, so my 401k stands at 22,801, and my total debt now stands at 300,800. All right, as you can see, on July the 21st, we was at 306,129 dollars, right? So we got the CONY and the other little helpers brought down that margin just like that in 1 week, right? So the plan is, like I was saying earlier in the video, if by Friday of next week, when I get paid, let's say it's the combined dividends is at 2K, right? I don't know. I'm just guessing. Could be 3K. I don't know. And CONY goes up a little bit again, right? Then I'm going to consider, see this little R right here. I put that there because it's going to be the one I'm going to consider. And the reason why is because I looked at the amount it was charging me interest, and it was the highest out of these. So I will knock that out because the interest is pretty high on that one. So I would knock that one out, and then I would wait and see if they would give me an offer to make a balance transfer. And then I would transfer one of these to that, and then that to that, just keep repeating it, and have maybe 10 to 18 months free interest saving. It's just a process, people, getting it going. All right, so here, the first 6 months of the year, you can see my interest is at 13,000. The second half of this year, my interest is already at $3,500 in basically 1 month almost, or two. I think it's got, yeah, it's 2 months, 2 months, 2 months. Yeah, 2 months is almost gone by. So yeah, so that's a lot of interest. So year to date, $16,830 in interest. As you can see here, we've only deposit $16.85 in my Robinhood account, $1,685 in my Robinhood account. We withdrawn $8,748 year to date. So if we go back to my account, right? Back to my account, my Robinhood account, it stands now at 81,423. So if we were to add back that $8,700 that we withdrew, my account now would be at $90,000 in value. All right. So since my initial investment in CONY, my total investment in CONY is at $114,137. That's what I got invested in CONY. Want to ask me why did I have so much invested in CONY? I let them know, hey, since the inception started, CONY had been doing good until 2025, right? All right, so I've been investing in CONY. I've gotten $54,564 from CONY. I owe $59,572 before I break even and have house money. All right, Misty, we have made $19,501, and we are $6,500 away from breaking even with Misty, and we was just about $800 away, and then that 70% maintenance went down on Misty, and so we made another purchase and got our share count up to, I believe, 1,000 in Misty. Who's to say I won't be tempted once we get near breaking even to do it again? All right, so I think that concludes. Nope, right here. All right, Divi Tracker. All right, so Divi Tracker saying that my annual income is estimated to be at $131,000. My monthly income is estimated to be about $11,000. All right, saying my total invested. That's my right here, the 99,000. That is my margin. So when you add 99,000 plus the 78 and me being down 31, it should equal this $209,000, right? So this is showing how things ended, what I was down on the day Friday and what I was up on the day Friday, right? All right, let's go to Snowball analysis. All right, once again, $114,000. Invested in the CONY for 10,032 shares. All right, our current value is at 90,000. Our dividends received is 54,590. Excuse me. We're down 23,000. Hopefully we get back to 9,000. Give me a lot more leeway, flexibility. All right, so when you take, hold on, when you take the 54,000 of dividends that I made in CONY, subtract the negative capital gain, and add the profit and loss, our total profit stands at 32,000 in CONY. Misty, see, our cost per share is 26. All right, cost basis is over 26,000. Current value is at 21. Dividends received in CONY 19,500. We're down $4,800 or almost $4,900 in capital gains on Misty. We've had profit of $1,600 from sell off, and so that gives us total profit in Misty of $16,000. Plady, we got 235 shares. Average cost per share is 66, so that's about 15.5K invested. We received 2,700 shares, $2,700 in dividends, from Plady. And so everything in Plady is positive. Everything is positive. Profit loss, total profit, everything is positive in Plady. Now Palantir, we got 120 shares, $15,000 in there. So even if we sold both of those, that's $30,000 right there towards margin alone, right? All right, so capital gain. So we sold that. That's $30,500, right? And then we would walk away with $4,600 in profit if we sold both of those positions off first thing in the morning. So that we go from 99,000 and paying back Robin their 30, bringing that down to $60,000 dollars. Then that'd be feeling like a cakewalk, right? For me at least. All right, Ulti, we've received $2,200 in dividends. We're down $1,300. We're just barely up in total profit in that account. Let's see some of the bigger ones here. Look at that AMD. No, we can't look at AMD because I still ain't fixed that. SMCY, we've got 155 shares. Received $2,600 in dividends, down $480, and we sold at a loss at $661, but we still have total profit of $1,400 because we've made $2,600 in dividends. So got anything else significantly? Nope. Everything else is teetering on borderline. So in all, of my 207,000 invested, Divi Tracker said it's 209,000 invested. All right. So we received 86,000 dollars in dividends since we've been investing in this account. That includes this year and last year, right? All right. So our total profit stands at $59,488. As you can see, 86,000 minus the negative 27 and plus the 590 and profit and loss puts us at a total profit of $59,488. All right. So we're at 38 minutes. Let's see how long. Let's see if we can get these Q&A done in what for the hours cross. All right. First up. All right. So I was thinking about stopping the video, right? Oh, let me know in the comments if you're still listening now. I was thinking about stopping the video here and going ahead and allow what I've recorded thus far, which is 38 minutes, and uploading that, and then continue recording on a separate video the Q&A section of this and uploading it on Tuesday morning. Let me know in the comment section if you're still listening, if you would like to perhaps see that done, shorter video where you don't have to listen to it all in one setting, or just give me some feedback in the comments. Of course, it probably would be positive for me if I broke it into 2 videos, because then they probably get more views, right? All right. So JD said, Mr. Hernandez says, you not scared of margin call from CONY? Coinbase close to all-time high and CONY almost back to all-time low. Thank you for your time and videos. I replied, not at the present moment. CONY would have to drop its market value to $22,500 for me to get a margin call. I'm not too concerned right now at the moment. With the Coinbase joining the S&P 500, I'm not too concerned. I appreciate you dropping by, viewing the content. Let's stay tuned and see what happens in the next 6 months. Unknown says, bro, I just invested last week. I seen your channel, but I haven't gotten nothing yet. I use Webull. Is it gonna pay 2 to 5 business days for the first time investor to get paid? I only got $10 in YieldMax. I wanted to see if I get paid first before dropping 1,000 in it. Now I'm skeptical. Let me know, bro. Laughing out loud. This is my first time investing in any stocks. Wow. First of all, let's give it up for Unknown. Knocking over my mic. Let's give it up for Unknown. Stepping out here, being brave, investing. I don't know if watching my channel for the first time, being an investor, is a wise thing. I'm just gonna say, put it out there, So yeah, this is not financial advice. Please read the disclosure, the claims. This is not financial advice. I don't want you to be looking at my channel for the first time. This being your first investment, man. I mean, I'm just making light of the situation, but that's probably not the wisest thing. You probably want to go watch some other YouTube channels and before you try this. But be careful. I said personally, I have Webull account and I do get dividends there. I don't know when it actually pays out because I've got very small positions in there. And I don't follow that much. But from what I gather, it takes 3 to 5 business days for the dividends to be deposited. Here's the information I got. Read below. So this information is just basically saying the same thing. It takes about 3 to 5 business days for Webull. I just noticed when I get paid on Friday, it doesn't show anything in my Webull account, but then I'll check like the middle of the week and it's up, and I've been noticing that. So I don't know what day it's actually paying on. But I guess I need to go look at my Webull statement. That would probably tell me. He said, say less, bro. I'm gonna keep an eye out for it, laughing out loud. I have to learn to work on my patience. You go, bro. Keep stacking. We soon at the top. Soon gonna be at the top. I don't know about the GOAT, man. I don't know about the GOAT. I don't want that title. The GOAT says, I seen a little thumbnail that says GOAT means God over all time, God over all things. I'll take God over all things. Not me, but I'm just saying God himself. I said, let me know when you get those dividends. I just know when I check my Weeble account, I see that dividend amount keeps increasing, but I don't know when they're dropping in. My good friend Mike Lesser said, turn out, you'll get your 8 gigs. Oh, turns out you'll get your 8 grand Friday after all. Woo-wee. Yes, sir, I did. They squeezed out 80 cents on it. I said, yes, they teased me. They teasing me, man. He said, I thought the Berkshire YieldMax would have been paying at least $20 minimum. Now, I think he's talking about the inception price would have been $20, like most of the max funds did when they first came out. That was around $20, and now they are, when they come out, they're at $50. Now, if I'm incorrect, and you was expecting it to pay out $20 minimum, that would be astonishing. But I think you're thinking about the actual Berkshire Hathaway. I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I said all new positions since 6 months ago now starts at $50 mark. BT4 says YieldMax lies to you, bro. Turn on capital. Find the data on the YieldMax website tax form section. They declared one thing to you and another to the IRS. Prepare for unwelcome taxes. Round Hill products are actually 100% return on capital. And I replied, I'm not concerned about taxes at all. I could not invest and get nothing, or I can invest and make $100,000 and give Uncle Sam 20% and keep the rest for myself. It's sort of like paying tithes to God. He asked for 10% of all increases, and I get to keep 90%. If he's blessing, why not show the gratitude? I guess Uncle Sam's a little bit greedy though. He said, so this is group A. Do you also do other groups? I said, this is group C actually. And yes, I do each group each week. Next week will be group D. He said, thank you, sir. Precision Defense says, these are bangers. I said, yes, sir. These have been a game changer for sure. They have their ups and downs, but overall, it's good money. He says, I see a lot of them you don't have shares in. Is there a reason why? New investor asking. I said, most of the ones I have, YieldMax only had 3 ETFs, so the ones currently didn't exist at the time. Plus, I've used most of my margin, don't have enough to go around, but mainly I'm getting into those that have very high yields. I'm looking for a dividend that pays between $1 and $9 dividend payout. If it pays less than that, I'm not interested, unless one, I'm already in it and it now pays less, or it's a weekly payer. I need to like the ETF and also believe in it. Marie, if I'm saying that right, Marie or Mary, says, would you be able to still buy today by 4 p.m. to lock in these dividends? So when I aired this video, it was Wednesday morning. So I said, yes, the correct time, 4 p.m. today, you can still get paid on Friday. I says that will be for the YieldMax ETF only. Others would have had to be purchased by Thursday at 4 p.m. She said, thank you. My good friend Alan said, hooey, wow. Thanks for the review, man. Ulti is doing well. Yes, Huey is trying to make a name for himself or herself. Hood has been flying off the chain, so it's good to see Ulti still being solid. See here, trying to make this out. Music, yes. Dylan Music says, wow. I mean 7K. Enjoy that. Ha ha ha. I'll be getting around $350. The NAV is pumping. Amazing. I said, yes, sir, indeed. Got to pay the bills. Got to pay the bills with it. Laughing out loud. I like the process it's going to be once the bills are paid. That's going to be the cream on the cake. when it's 300 of 3,500, that pay is going to feel good come Friday. Nothing like that feeling. It's repeating. Not sure why it's repeating. Assassin says, can't wait for CONY dividend. I said, yes. Say that again. Thursday is going to be painful, though, because it dipped. So when you got big dividend payouts like that, because the big shares, you got to expect it to dip. You got to hope you don't get margin call, which I got buffer. So, all right. Redbird says, little risky on the margin side, homie. I'm the same way though, to be honest. Trying to balance out high yield stocks and ETF with more traditional stocks ETF, using a portion of the cash flow to add, like you, a portion to pay down debt and margin. Like the video, good luck. I said thank you for stopping by, viewing the content. Much appreciated. So yes, I like using margin and Robinhood. I tried to use it in Charles Schwab, but the interest rate over there was too high. I get the interest rate over here at Robinhood real low at 5%. Sort of a swing trade few positions like Palantir and Hood so far. Then I should be able to sell for profit using it to pay down the margin, return the market that I use for those positions. Like it would execute that strategy coming up to Palantir earnings. He says, absolutely love Palantir, love Hood, Nvidia, and Mr. MicroStrategy for extremely long term. Been in for a while now, so have nice gains. Also, I have some good amount of income versions like Hoodie again, Palantir, and Platy again, Nvidia W, Misty, and waiting on the new Misty to drop. I said I hope to get in those someday down the road. I'm loving what I'm seeing them pay out for the weekly payouts with Roundhill and Bitwise and YieldMax. Faye says 10,000 shares of CONY. I have 800, bro. This isn't sustainable long term. I says, if it isn't, then I'll get off this wave and ride another one. But until then, I'm collecting as much dividends I can. Let's go. Stay tuned. Let's see how this journey takes me. Anthony said, I need to watch this entire playlist. Then I have questions. I said, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't spell it right. Being watching with some popcorn, nice coat, great movie. Take the all your time, Anthony, and watch all the playlists you want. Every single video, go watch them. And I'll be more than willing to answer your questions. YieldMax says, I just fell asleep listening to this boring video. I said, man, you fell asleep? Let's watch it again with some Red Bull and let's keep watching until you finish. I appreciate you stopping in and viewing the content. My good friend Mike says, your CONY distro will be massive Friday. 8 to 9,000 guaranteed. Plus on Monday, IMS, IMRA, and ICO are going to be paying out. Yeah, boy, ride that wave. I said, yeah, I'm looking forward to the 85 to 95, which we know now is 80, but I was anticipating 85 to 90. And that's probably a good thing so that the CONY wouldn't drop so much. So I'll sell it for that. I'm just glad it wasn't 50 cents or 43 cents. So he said, turns out it may be more like 65 unless my guesstimation is wrong. Either way, 6 grand will be sweet for you, best bro. For you, best bro. So far, I've got 50 or so shares each of those other 3. Oh, okay. Shoot, man, that one that paying that I believe it is that Round Hill weekly payer of CONY. Man, And I think they're retaining the NAV too. That's going to be interesting. He said, my CONY position is small compared to yours, like 250 shares, cause I put loads more into Misty, Platy, Nvidia, and etc. and etc. I'll get I'll get almost a couple hundred of spare change though at least. Said a sad day. We lost a couple icons this week. Rest in peace, Ozzy and Malcolm. Yes, that was sad. This individual said, Yield Trap, my home friend, my boy, my guy said, nah. I said, why do you think that? We haven't heard back from him. All right, my good friend Alan says, nice job, man. Excuse me. He said, nice job, nice review. I've been putting more into Ulti this past week. The payout has been really good, and it seems a lot of people are talking about it. I says, thanks, Alan. Yes, indeed. For the past couple weeks, all that has been in the news, a lot of people are doing a combination of that with Misty. And yeah, I've been seeing YouTube videos with Misty and Alti. Alti, Misty. Comparing 1 million in this, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Lena Long says, in Robinhood, under sale, it gives you the option to sell and tax lots based on the purchase date. And I want to give a shout out to you, Lena Long. You helped me out. I believe it's a Lena Long is. I believe this is a female, if I'm not mistaken. I want to give a big shout out. I wrote your name down because I went to my app and yes, I was able to look at the tax slots and do what I did in Charles Schwab. So I'm going to keep that in mind. And if I was that was one of the things I was aiming to do in my YouTube short on Friday, but they didn't give me a dividend, so I didn't do it. So the next time I do one, I'll try to remember that I want to demonstrate this for others to be aware. I appreciate you providing this information because I was like, man, Robinhood doesn't have this. Now, I don't know if this is a new feature or it's been something there all the time, but I really do appreciate you sharing that. Big props to you. All right. Frankie James says, get your margin down, man. I said, we will as part of the plan. We got to try to get more debt outside of Robinhood Pay and find what is it? Find me a weekly position to increase, and then we'll get this debt to start to simmer down. And you love your life. He says, been holding so far since January. Average cost is $14.97. So looking pretty good on my portfolio. Also might want to look into HOVR plug power. Now I have plug power. We use this at one of our facilities. AMPX, I've heard with Josh talk about this one. I've this Bear something. I've seen him talk about that one. BBAI. If you haven't, all of the YieldMax funds are taking some dips like a sponge. Not sure if they will pick back up on better dividends soon. AIYY should be a killer in a few months. CONY is going to do around 53 cents this go around. And I'm glad it didn't. Glad it didn't. All right. Mindset. How much of it with your capital? And Love Your Life said, I believe it's probably about under 1,200. He was pretty spot on. All right. I don't think this needs any attention. Yep, 10 days ago. All right, let's hit this. All right, Anthony says, what's your tax look like? Sheets, you get into that bad. I says, in all honesty, I have no idea. I know at the end of the year, I have not saved anything aside yet. I'll probably take the first 3 months of next year, save the dividends, and pay the taxes. See is my best paying week. Hope to find another week that can pay out once I build the position up. Stay tuned. Let's see what happens. Thank you for watching the content. Mr. Mike says, yeah, they were an hour or two late on Saturday morning. Naughty YieldMax. I was starting to get a little pissed, he says. I I miss dividend distro for this Tuesday is about $3 a share. IMRA 4 and CONY a whopping 9.25. So they pay out on Tuesday. So they pay out on Tuesday. So they pay out on Tuesday. Are you all thinking what I'm thinking? If these are weekly payers and they pay out on Tuesday, guess what? Take that dividend from Tuesday, buy it in a position on Wednesday, right? And then when you get paid that dividend on Wednesday, you buy it for the position on Tuesday and repeat the process, compounding during the middle of the week. Yes, I've seen them. I've never seen them pay that late before. I kept checking my phone and kept checking. Showing out $9.25. How many shares of it do you have? He said 50. That's right. You told me earlier in the other thing, 50. He said that paid my car and my electric bill. So 50 shares, let's see, 50 shares at 950. 50 shares, I guess it was 950. 925 times 9.25. That's almost $500. Pretty good. Hopefully I miss and Mara, yeah, I think that's what they will follow suit for $9 and have a triple threat. I said that's life, brother. I've been trying to share the knowledge with people I converse with. It's just a concept that's hard to get them to understand. Something that they're not physically working for is taking care of their basic needs. And basically, we was talking about something, I can't remember what it was. He says, I'm keeping my eyes on them. He said, my dude, is how the new age will be. People need to wake up. Yep, because these AI and the autonomous things, yeah, they're coming. All right. Yola said, nice. May I know how you're going to pay down the margin? Is there a time frame that we should pay it off? Million says, you can add money or just sell to pay it off. Mike says, or let the dividends pay it even better. No time limit as long as you pay your minimum interest. It's best to pay it off sooner than later in case the red days come around or you get margin call. He's absolutely right. But he's absolutely right with that. But with what was I going to say? The interest is very small. You don't even recognize, I guess, unless you got a small position. Excuse me. Explain to all of that. First, I would sell my position in Palantir. I'm currently up 4,300 in profit. My next position will be Hood. I'm up $857 in profit. I said I would sell off SoFi. I'm currently up $63 in profit. And if I need to, I would sell Platy. I'm up $73 in profit there. Then I would sell Hui, and I'm currently up $59 in profit there. So altogether, $1,000, and that will shave off the 99,000. And I'm currently making around $7,800 a month in dividends that I would use to bring down the margin, remaining balance. I don't have a time frame for paying down the margin since it's only 5.25%, but we just saw this video and it was at 5, it's back up to 5.55. My focus is going to be paying down debt outside of Robinhood that has an interest rate of 28% for about $51,000. Once that is cleared, then I will refocus on paying down the margin within Robinhood, probably still buying some more dividends. Um, right. So if you want to read all that, have at it, people. It's a conversation me and Mike was having there. Mike, I'm not just skipping over you, bro, but I'm gonna just move on. All right. All right. Jay says, if I let the dividends compound and the buying power without margin, how would it be? I wasn't sure if I understood. He said, if I let the dividends compound and the buying power without margin, how would it be? Oh, I think he's talking about just using just a cash account. I said it will be the same as if you were depositing cash into your account. It'll be money just like sitting there waiting on you to make a decision with it. Either withdraw it from your account or invest it or do nothing with it and accrued interest. He says, thank you. Autopilot says, I love to hear and see a video with your input on OT. And I basically let him know that I don't do technical analysis, but I did refer him to Spencer Invest, his channel, and I put the link in the comment. He says, nice return. You definitely playing risky with the amount of margin used. No room for error. I said, yes, you're correct. I'm just trying to take advantage of the opportunity while I have it. I know that I can easily sell Palantir and Hood and return 20K borrowed and 4K in profit. He said, much respect. Chance makes champions. It's just when I saw that you only had 6K of buying power out of 100, I was like, wow. Yes. But I had good buffer. You got to realize, even though that was true, my buffer was at 26 to 29,000. So it doesn't matter if I only have small amount of buying power. If that buffer is good, then I got cushion. All right, 36 says 26 bands on the month is wow. Good stuff. 26 bands on the month. 26 bands on the month. Oh, I think he's talking about what I've made. Yeah, 26 G's for the month. When I showed, I guess, what I made for the past month. He averaged down on CONY. That move alone brought him back plus dividends and profit. Yep, this is last week's stuff. All right, cool. That's 10 days ago. All right, cool. So we about to get out of here. Let's go to our post right quick. Kendrick says that Huey is paying crazy right now. I said, you got that right. I wish I had gotten a bigger position before it ran up. I'll probably buy the dip sometime in the future. Loss from Light says, I just got 337 the month for CONY. Man, that's great. I said, go ahead, tell me how it felt. Seeing that money drop in your account, there's nothing like it. You don't have to get up and go to work. You just loan your money out and they give you interest and dividends. Brown says, you have 90,000 in CONY? I said, no, sir. I've invested 114,000 into CONY so far, and I'm down 22,000. That were the 90,000 you're seeing. That's the current market value of my CONY. When CONY reaches 1198 again, I'll have my initial capital whole again. 132 says, CONY payment is insane, bro. What made you put so much in this high risk fund? I said until 2025, from the beginning of CONY's inception, it had been averaging $1.67 a month. It's a long-term play for me now, and I also saw an opportunity to dollar cost average down to try to get my cost average close to $10 so that if CONY should go up to $20 again, I would double my profit and sell half and get my initial capital back or continue holding. All right. Nobling says, bro, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. How long would it take for me to get $100 from something like that? Now I know that's not what he said, but I explained that here. I said I'm guessing you're talking about ETF Hui. I can say that if you had $1,000 invested at $68 per share, that will give you 14.7 shares, which will give you $101 last week had you invest that last week. Now, being that it just paid out, it'll be another month before they pay again. It's a monthly income ETF. Now that the prices, I should have said, know that the prices are not fixed. The price fluctuate each month, so the next dividend could be $2 or it could be $10. Who knows? Just be careful. Do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice. Unknown said, bro, I just invested last week when I saw your channel, but I haven't got nothing yet. I think I just read this earlier. All right, Stephen Miller says OT 200 shares won't stop until I get $100 every Friday, and I'm going to do it for another ETF another day of the week after. I said, okay, so you'll need 1,060 shares total in order to get $100 a week. You are 860 shares away from your goal. You will get it very shortly. Keep up with it. Add in your position before you know it. You will have that $100, $400 a month. My good friend here, Javi, says, I love getting paid. I say, yes, sir. That she's I said, yes, sir. That she'll be plenty. I said, should. I guess she'll be plenty of money to go around for all of us. All right. Mike Lesser says, that Brad quote sure is speaking truth. Also done right. Money can get you financial freedom to not have to work to death, but always remember, people, that it only does that and pays the material things. True happiness in life is found through people you care about and spread love to all. And I would like to say that true happiness and joy comes from God. God is the center. He is love. And if you don't have him in your life, it's meaningless almost to a certain degree. Life is different when you have God in your life. Mike Lopez says, Misty, payout. I said, relax, bud. The month isn't even ended yet. Chill, man. I said that'll be next week. You missed, if I'm not mistaken. Says, whatever it is, I said, you're welcome. Please stay tuned. Let's see how it goes. I did a translator, and that's how I was able to do it. And says, thank you. I said, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping by and watching. I don't know what this is. H times H. I know you're smiling ear to ear with that CONY dividend. I have 1,200 shares. I said, just trust in the process. That 1,200 shares is a lot more than the most. Keep reaching for your goals, brother. He says, very true. Appreciate the feedback, OG. Anytime, my guy. All right. Individual said, is it dropping? And he's talking about, call it Robo or Rolex, not Rolex, Rolo. Okay. They just said soon. Says, oh, fat, thanks for the info. I'm def buying some of these instead of DraftKings. Called what is it? Roblo? How do they pronounce it? Roblox is crushing it in profits this year, especially in the last 3 months. I said, as long any of them have implied volatility, we should be good, whether we make an earnings or not. Implied volatility is what counts. It's true that, homie. I'm always buying the underlying stock when it pops, when it's a growth company. I'm always buying the underlying stock when it's a growth company. Let's go, I said. He said, fire. Individual says, oh, wow. This is review and challenge. He says, oh, wow, so cool. My 12-year-old is already saying that we have to buy this ETF. Can't wait to see how it performs. Yeah, I do know. I've heard family members talk about their children are into that particular ETF. I mean, that stock, and they love it. All right, that may be it. Let's see. All right, he says, how much do you have in play for 500 dividends? I said, you need 235 shares at an average cost of 66.18. All right, that's all of that. That's it. All right, so the video, we almost beat our last time. I think last time was 113. Right now, we'll probably be at 115. I may be able to shave some off a little bit, get it back to 113. All right. I want to say thank you all if you stay tuned to this point in the video. This is YieldMaxMindset. I'm just saying, hey, let's get these dividends. Stay blessed out there and let God lead you and guide you in your endeavors. All right, this is YieldMaxMindset signing off. Good day, good night. Bye.